I'm recording and I'm also going to send to you this thing. So yes, you will get some more ideas. Okay, get more ideas about all those things. I'm also going to send you on the WhatsApp as well. So make
Okay.
some more ideas about all those things because yes, this is very things like business processes. So business processes are not so correct. That is why we going to do some auditing. And once we're going to do auditing like ISO 27000, so we had 114 controls. Okay, we have 10 domains, we have 114 controls. So what are different controls? What is the different domains? This is knowledge requirement. Okay, then we cloud computing is the software as a service, SLAs. I think you're aware about vendors, financial strength, audit, disaster recovery postures, application architecture, mobile technologies. This is the business environment. Okay, so this is the better things. This is the old things we discussed, models, everything. Because this doesn't matter for you, but as a business environment, you need to understand. Yes, mobile technologies. Right now, the technologies are moving it. So you would say that I would say that you are a security engineer or you are a solution architect or enterprise architect in my company. I would say, come on, Santil and Arvind, I would like to open all those my applications or my softwares on the mobile, or you can say the bring your own device sort of applications I needed. So how do you going to create all those things? Yes, we can going to create the applications. So my another question will be, if my device will be lost, what's the different policies, the different technologies, how do you going to implement the mobile inventory, things like that. So this is also matters a lot. So this is the business enablement is very important aspects in the current industry that what you want to doing it. Then we have some processes like HR, onboard terminations, business partnerships. So you need to create some business architecture, organizational structure, all those things. The flow chart, how the flows will be going on. Business continuity and disaster recovery plans. So also, there's also very important prospects. Business continuity and disaster recovery plan. So it is for both into the IT specific. Okay, like anything will be disaster. Okay, server goes down, anything will be down. So once you're going to do some architecture designing, okay, like Togaf environment, you should keep in mind that control environment. I understand industry trends, okay, evolution emerging, SDN, virtual management, reality. So this is what I'm talking about. IoT, IoT use cases, okay, data analytics, virtual reality, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, okay, drones, 5G, edge computing, artificial intelligence. So what's your point of view? Because you are going to do the business enablement your company, and you would like to know the more technologies currently in the market. So that's what you're going to doing it. Project delivery side life cycle, security architecture, compliance is audit. So this is different things. So I'm talking about the compliance and the audit side, PCI DSS or SOX, GDPR, CCPA, data privacy, HIPAA, HITEC, regular audits, SACS 18, NIST, FISMA, all the compliance needed. So make sure that you have understanding all those compliance and audits. This is the requirement for any security architect, because it is also going to be asked by the interviewer, and also it is good for your knowledge as well. Legal and human resources, so vendor contacts, integration forensics, or data retention policy. So this is the things I'm talking about, risk management. So physical security, vulnerability management, EMO, code reviews. Just try to get some more ideas. I will going to send this particular PPT. Make sure that you go through this particular PPT before you go
Yes,
for.
please. Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, so work
This
from home.
particular file, CISO mind map, right? Yeah, CISO mind maps. Yeah, please send it. Yeah, I have a personal interest in it. So
Yes, so this is the okay. If I'm talking about the risk management control frameworks, okay. So guys, I'm talking about some different. Here it is. I mentioned some of the terms, but you can also be add more terms like the COSO, COBIT, ISO, ITL, NIST, FAR, visibility across multiple frameworks. So just try to get some knowledge. Like the TOGAF is a part of this particular things. By the way. It's nothing changed. So you are the part of the one story, okay, on whole things. Go for some COBIT. Okay, COBIT is also very important. COSO is very important. ISO 27000, ISO 9000, ISO 31000, different ISOs for different things. Then ITL version 4 is there in the market right now. Okay, so this is the best practices how the company is going to following it, like change management, incident management, release management, configuration management. Okay, NIST is also very important standards for your risk management or cybersecurity frameworks, or the physical security frameworks. So NIST from the US, okay, point of view is good for you to go for it. COSO is one of them for important things, identity management. Okay, so just try to study, because this is will help you for the business architecture. Okay, so the information systems architectures to develop architecture covering either or both, depending upon project scope, the data and application systems domains, and focus on identifying the domain applications and data consideration that support and enterprise business architecture. Okay, so it's going to be focused on the identifying the applications, data considerations, and support enterprise architecture. So approach elements are development, implementations, imports, reference materials, enterprise, non-architecture imports, architecture imports. Okay, so we have data architecture. So yes, it is the gap analysis. Everything will be remain same, my difference. Just try to just get some knowledge. Once you have using your own mind, then it will be remain same. Reference models, viewpoint tools, develop baseline data, develop target data architecture description. So once you're going to create any project once or twice or three times, it will remember for you all those the things. Then we're talking about some information systems architecture approach development. So phase C involves a combination of data and application architecture. So the data versus the application architecture. So how the data architecture, how the application architecture, things we're gonna be working. So data applications and each has common set of steps to be similar to the phase B business architecture. So in the phase C, we can say that the phase B is the same architecture, and data and applications. How do you going to create the data architecture? So data the application, data duplications, did and okay, and just try to get more and more information about the data. Data analyst, data mining, okay, and then number of things. How do you replicate? How do you synchronize? How do you managing data? What are different compliances? What are the regulations of the data? Laws of the data, everything. Just go for the data lifecycle, data maintenance, uh, data maintenance, data backup, data restore, different platforms all together. I can say that cloud computing is one of them, Veeam software, EMC softwares, Dell EMC softwares, and there are five technologies. So go for each and every technologies, go for the data. um, Everywhere is data. How do you going to protect maintain configurations of the data? This is what you're going to doing it everywhere. Okay, and then we talking about some applications. So you are background from the application, so it's better that you're going to go for some more architecture designing about the applications, application testing, application configurations, application maintenance, all those things. Just try to getting it. And also just once you have little time, that you can go for OSP 20, top 10, so that it is provide you security architecture designing as well. Okay, wait a second, I'm going to open it for you. Was application attacks. Okay, just once you have little time, you can go for this particular. So this is let you know the different type of risk on the top 10 application security risk in the application. So because I'm a cybersecurity expert, so I'm going to refer all those to my students, that please go ahead with the SQL injections, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure, XML entities, okay, broken access controls. So how all those things going to be working? Okay, this is the things you're going to be working. Security must configurations, cross-site scripting, insecure digitalization, using components with known vulnerabilities, insufficient logging and monitoring. So once you have little time, please go for it, do all those things, so that you get more ideas how the things going to be working, or what's all about the data. Okay, and also you can go one more thing. I'm going to refer to you, mm, and the NIST data management. NIST data privacy framework, NIST data classifications, okay, NIST data security standards, NIST database security standards. So you have different type of standards, data governance. You going for the classifications. So this is no one going to ask you, but you will get lots of knowledge, lots of informations, and you know that if you have lots of informations about the data, applications, anything, then you will going to create a world-class architecture designing of the Togaf environment, right? Okay. Then we have key applications can from the core of mission critical business processes. The implementation and integration of core applications can be primary focus of architecture effort, of integration issues, challenges. Okay, so the designing, so business architecture designing, data architecture design, application architecture designing, technology architecture design. So once we have a little time, just try to create some designing. Okay, how creating the design on the Visio, creating a design on the mind maps. Okay, and try to create an architecture designing the complex environment or assembly device assemblies companies, or you can say that you are going to create the architecture designing on the small to medium to enterprise level companies. Okay, and you want to be creating the redundancy in the networks, redundancy in the databases, redundancy in the applications. How do you allocate the what designing hierarchical model or modular approach of the designing? So you can go for each and every part of the designing, not about the applications, not about the networks, it's all about anything. Okay, suppose I would say that you're going to create some architecture designing of the wireless technologies. Just try to create some designing on the cloud computing. Just try to create the architecture designing on the endpoint security solutions. Okay, so anything will be happen. Just try to create all those designs, share to me so that I will take a look at how uh, you want to managing all those things. And the technologies, first of all, understand the technologies like I'm talking about here. That's why I'm open that this particular CISO mind map. So you have seen that we have different type of technologies here. Go for this is IoT. Wait a second. Yeah, there it is. Yes. So I'm talking mobile technologies. You're talking about some IoT use cases. Okay. So drones, 5G technologies, everything. Okay. And not about the one technology. I'm talking about everything. Like suppose right now companies are moving to the some companies say that we were going to moving it to the 5G technologies. So what is the 5G technologies? Is altogether. You have basic understanding of the technology is very important in the talk of environment. Okay, then implementation, technology architecture implementations, application architecture implementation, data architecture implementation, and business architecture implementation. So the designing and implementation, how do you implement, how do you execute the planning, how do you say that it's a world-class architecture designing? Go for some reference models of the Google, go for the reference model of Facebook, or go for reference model for the Apple, so that they have some designing, they have some implementation things, they're going to create some white papers, or they going to provide some the videos, everything. Just try to make more knowledge about all those things and try to implement the things. What is the right approach to doing it as per the ISO 27000, as per the GDPR? How, what type of application architecture design you're going to be create? So first of all, understand the GDPR, and then you're going to create the architecture design, and then you're going to implement the things. Then we're talking about some information systems architecture inputs. So we have architecture inputs, we have some application principles, data application pipelines, architecture vision, draft architecture definition document, draft arch- architecture requirement specifications. So yes, we have different inputs, and then we want for the data architecture outputs is to define the major types of sources, data necessary to support the business and the way in the way that understandable and stakeholders complete and constant stable. So it is required your stable of your business. So the complete and constant business, stable business, and define the data entities relevant to the enterprise, not concerned with design of logic of physical storage systems and databases. So we have another approach elements like key considerations for data architectures, architecture repository. So we have inputs, we have non-architectural inputs, we have architectural inputs, steps, we have different type of steps. You will want to say that perform gap analysis, define roadmap components, resolve impacts across the architecture landscape, conduct formal stakeholder review, finalize the data architecture, create architecture definitions documents, So altogether, we have different things. So we have information systems architecture, data architecture approach, key consideration like data management. So I'm already talking about go for the data management, data implementations, data understanding data, enterprise entities created, stored, transported, and archive and reported. So data archiving, data storage, data creations, data modifications, data maintenance, data lifecycle, data classifications. Try to create everything. Okay, and if you don't have the ideas about all those things, I will going to refer you one of my slides I have created for my students of security professionals. So this is you going to go for it. So this is the data security controls, typical data retention durations, classification levels, data classification levels. Okay, guys. Then you can say data ownership, data custodian. Okay, system owners, administrators, and users, data reminiscence. Okay, and you have some different type of standards for different data, NIST approaches, NIST data classification criteria, data retention policies, and security policies, standard and guidelines for that data. So this is what you're going to be referred for the what data maintenance, data security, asset security, everything. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet I created for you. So I'm gonna send to you this particular sheet. So everything will be there into the one sheet.
Got it. Okay. Please send it. Yeah. This looks good. Yeah.
Okay, yes, I don't worry, I'll share it to you. Okay. Then we moving to again with the this one. Okay, so this is not need to go for it. Then we talk about data migration. So identify the data migration requirements. So data migration, we have different phase of the ADM. Okay, don't worry about it. We have another phase of data management. Okay. Then we ensure target application has quality data where it is populated. Ensure enterprise-wide common data identification, definition, established, support, and transform. So the data governance structures, management, people. So how do you structure of the data? How do you management the data? How do you, what are people? What are different skills required for the people to doing the data architecture designing? Then consider what data architecture resources are available in the architecture repository, what generic data models relevant to the organizations. So we architecture inputs like tailored architecture frameworks, data pipelines, architecture vision, data architecture definitions documents, draft architecture requirement specifications. So that's what you're going to study. Yeah, level of detail access the C1 depend on the scope and goals of architectures. And we have data architecture steps like select reference models, viewpoints, tools. So just want to find out the different data reference models. Okay, go to the Google and just do data reference models, Google viewpoints, Google tools. Okay, develop baseline data architecture vision. So what is the baseline? Okay, we have minimum requirement of hardware, minimum requirement of software. Okay, at least minimum requirement of the hardware software. Develop target data architecture descriptions, perform gap analysis, roadmap components, resolve impacts across the architecture landscape, conduct formal stakeholder review, finalize the data architecture, create architecture definition documents. So we have different things. You have seen that into the picture that what different things you're going to be required and how to do to involve all those things. Well, we talk about some select data, relevant data architecture. So we have resources, models, patterns, architecture repository, basis of patterns, drivers, stakeholders' consents, and select relevant data architecture, viewpoints, organization, management, financial, or determine overall modeling process. So each viewpoint select the models needed to support the specific view required, and the tools required or stakeholder concerns is covered, business architecture and application architecture materials. So you have seen different things. So identify the required catalog of data building blocks. So create an inventory of the data needed to be placed to support the architecture vision and refer to the architecture and refer to the business service information diagrams created during the business architecture phase and showing the key data entities required by the main and business services. And we have to consolidate the data requirements in single location. So yes, we have identified the metrics. So suggested metrics, we have data identity metrics, business services informations, not gap such as entities that seems to be created by the applications or data but never used. So this is the identity required metrics is there. Then we talk about to identify required diagrams. So class diagrams, data dissemination diagrams, data lifecycle diagrams, data security diagrams. Let's try to create some different diagrams for each and every steps. And then we have some required of the collected requirements. So the target architecture requirements, non-functional requirement, assumptions, constraints, policies, standard, guideline, specifications. So guys, you need to understand the policies, standard, guidelines, specifications, constraints, the meaning. Okay, the basic things, the definitions you need to know all those things. Why we required? Who's approved the policies? What is the requirement? What this is the corrective controls, it's a preventive controls, it's a detective controls, what type of control it is, how the information protection can be helped on all those things. So this is the things is I'm talking about. So develop a baseline description on the existing data architecture to extend necessary to support the target business architecture scope and level of detail of the defined depend on the extent to which existing data elements are likely to be carried over the target architecture. So we have a phase one, so develop a target description of the data architecture to extent necessary to support the architecture vision. Scope and level of detail to be defined will depend on the levels of the business elements and attending to the target vision, architecture vision. So we have verify the architecture models and consistency and accuracy required. With the gap analysis, we're going to doing it later on. So create gap matrix. So you have, if you would like to go for, we have some. I already shared you the gap analysis matrix on a smart sheet. Just try to get it and just fill up and share to me so that I will going to understand. And also the roadmap, also components, how your roadmap going to be creating. Just try to create and assign to me and understand the wider impacts on the implications of proposed data architecture. Does this data architecture create an impact on pre-existing architecture, or have recent changes has been made an impact on the data architectures, or are there any opportunities to leverage work from this data architecture in other areas of organizations? Does this data architecture impact other projects, including those planet as well as those currently in progress? Okay, so this is the things we're going to be discuss, like check the organization motivation for the architecture project and the statement of architecture work against the proposed data architecture, or is it fit for the purpose supporting the subsequent work in the other architecture domain. So this is what we're going to be learning, my dear friends. Then we're talking about some select standards for each of the building blocks. Are they using as much as possible from the reference models selected from the architecture repository? Document each building blocks, document reason for building block decisions in the architecture document. Document find requirement, traceability report, and yes, we have some finalize all the work status of gap analysis results. I'm going to say that. So we have in the night steps, we going to create architecture definition document. So document reasons for building blocks, decisions in the architecture definition document. So try to create this models, business data models, logical data models, data management process models, and data entry, business functions metrics, data interoperability requirements. Okay, this is the thing, the requirements you're going to do it. And the data architecture output. So we have defined and updated versions of the architecture, vision phase vulnerabilities, validation of the principles, business goals, and business drivers, business data models, logical data models. Just try to create all those things. Then we're talking about some objectives of the application architecture. So to define the major kinds of application system necessary to process the data and support the business. And we need to not concern with application system design. So just try to create your own design about the same. Information systems or architecture, application architecture overview. So this is the main same. Architecture repository required, we required reference models, we required non-architecture inputs, Okay, then we have some steps: perform gap analysis, define roadmap components, conduct formal stakeholders review, finalize the application architecture. We need to create some architecture definition documents. So that is we are going to done for the day. We have 150 slides. We already done it. So we are half of the mark. We're going to doing it the next 2 to 3 days, and then I will going to provide you some assignments. Okay. So this week I have a target for all those things. So is it okay with you, or you require some more things? Anything you would like to comment on the same?
I think completing this 304 is fine this week, but assignments we need time. So
Yeah.
probably after like a week or so, we or something we can actually reconnect and then review one by one. Yeah, like 2 weeks, something like that, because the new year started, right? So we have to work also now. So there will be lots of pressure in terms of working, and then like like every week, like 30 minutes or something, we will provide you like one or two or like few things. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll complete everything.
Yeah, let's target actually completing this another
Yes.
150 pages.
So what I'm targeting right now, the theoretical conceptual things, the 304 slides, we have half of the marks. It will be done in the next 2 days, and then I will provide you assignments, and you will going to take your time, 10 days, 15 days, doing it at your own, and share to me
Okay.
once you have enough time. And I'm also available on the WhatsApp. So you just once you have finished, let me know. No problem with this, and then I will let you know if anything changes requirement. And yes, we will going to ask you any questions regarding same. All those things we will going to doing it once we have enough time to doing the things. Right?
Okay. And
Okay.
Mahesh, quick question. Like, will you be like, will you be able to get in touch with some schools
Yes.
this
So
week or sometime?
tomorrow I will just going to connect with my the Karan Bazar. Okay. So I will already talk with him. So if you have time tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then he will going to take a call with you if you don't mind.
I mean, same time, right? I'm available like 4:30. So every day we are available. So in the evening, or if you want him to be called in the morning, I'm totally fine also. So my
Mhm.
night time, your morning time, we can set up a call. Just check with him for a few timing.
So
So we can
I will you know what, ask him to provide 1 hour is okay, or half an hour. How much time required?
1 hour is okay. 1 hour is okay. Yeah,
1 hour is
let's
okay.
target 1 hour. Yeah.
So I will going to do one thing. I'm just connecting with him. Okay, I will going to connect with him, and then I would say that 1 hour in the morning time is okay, because he's in the school at the same time, so that the other person also can see all those things.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I will discuss
Probably
with him,
we can.
and
So yeah, discuss the thing. Probably we can do one thing, Magesh. We will do that demo next week.
next week. Okay, no
So
problem. Take your time. No problem with
something
this.
like that. Yeah, we can actually do the demo, because we are doing a build right now. So
Hmm.
which will actually have like lots of facilities in
New
parent app as well as
features. Yeah.
in new
Hmm.
features. So probably by Monday or something like that, we can have the demo.
No problem, no problem. Take your time. Once you say yes, I will go ahead with the same. But
Sure. Yeah.
I will provide the name. I will going to schedule next week. Okay, at any point of time, as per you suggested.
I mean, your cousin, he speaks English, right? I don't speak Hindi.
English only, English only. No problem with this.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
English.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, Manish.